And it's been quite a turnaround. Until last year, Mahinda Rajapaksa looked invincible. His grip on power was absolute. He controlled the parliament. His family controlled 75% of the country's budget. The Rajapaksa family ruled Sri Lanka, and Mahinda was the face of the dynasty. He was South Asia's longest-serving leader. Today, he's a deposed prime minister. He was once the hero of the civil war. Today, he's the fall guy in Colombo, a political liability sacrificed by his younger brother, the president. Our next report tells you about the rise and fall of Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Mahinda Rajapaksa once described himself as a rebel with a cause. He belongs to a political dynasty, but his brand of politics is hardly that of a dynast. Rajapaksa has the reputation of a street fighter. He entered parliament in 1970 when he was just 24. He became Sri Lanka's youngest ever parliamentarian. Rajapaksa had won from Hambantota, the same region that his father, Da Rajapaksa, had represented. It was a good start, but his big break came 3 decades later. In 2015, Mahinda became the president, starting a decade-long reign. His presidency lasted till 2015 and oversaw one of the bloodiest wars in modern history. With his brother, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Mahinda went on the offensive. Rajapaksa crushed the Tamil Tigers, the group his predecessors failed to tame. He rose to power, projecting himself as a man of peace. But as president, he ended the peace process. Mahinda's ruthless streak defined his political career. With his brother, Gotabaya, Mahinda went on the offensive. By 2009, the LTTE was defeated. Their leader, Vellupillai Prabhakaran, was gunned down. The victory came at a huge cost. Going by one United Nations estimate, 40,000 Tamils died in the final offensive. Mahinda Rajapaksa was accused of human rights violations, a charge that he vehemently denies. The victory over LTTE became his political USP. It led to his thumping win in 2010. Mahinda returned for his second term as president. This time he consolidated power and inducted his family in the government. Critics faced a crackdown. Supporters got a free pass, even though some of them were accused of murdering journalists. Undeterred, the Rajapaksas launched an ambitious rebuilding effort. They cleared several big-ticket infrastructure projects, including the Hambantota port in their hometown. Once a crown jewel, now a case study on Chinese debt. And a mistake that Mahinda is still paying a price for. The Chinese loans drove him out of office in 2015. Charges of corruption tainted Mahinda's reputation. He was accused of taking bribes from Beijing. Nothing could be proven, but Mahinda lost his political capital. 4 years later, the Rajapaksas made a comeback. The 2019 Easter bombings shook up Sri Lanka. Terrorism and national security became the top election issue. And Sri Lankans welcomed the Rajapaksas as war heroes. Mahinda floated a new political outfit. His younger brother, Gotabaya, was made the face of the campaign. They won a 2/3 majority. In 2019, the Rajapaksas returned to power. Mahinda as prime minister, Gotabaya as president, their political clout as restored. But the Chinese debt caught up with them. Sri Lanka's economic collapse has turned these war heroes into villains. Mahinda is out of power again, and the future of the political dynasty he built looks uncertain.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.